没有去过，我也没去过。
学长来。
好，没关系。要关什么？
遮一下。
哦，那个。
我想说就是知道。
可以的，可以的。
等一下，法师，对不起，今天法师不要管他，我们要去找一下。
他需要国际化专题课程。
对，所以你觉得眼镜受影响？好。好。
不要背着出去看前面哦，靠近一点嘛。
好，1、2、3，再换一个背景。刚刚有另外一个，就是谭健老师的那个，另外一个 PDF 档，桌面在另外一个 PDF 档，对，另外一个 PDF 档，刚刚已经打开了，在底下。
是吗？
对啊，让它全荧幕，就是让它那个。
好。
好。
它有一个那个投影机的那个当时在左上角。
哦，看到了。好了 ，OK。请看前面哦。来个姿势。
1、2、3。
OK。
好。
OK。
谢谢。
Yeah, sure. OK， 这样大家看到了吗 ？OK。
I think this is on. This is on.
这个冷气可不可以稍微
冷一点？
对，温度低一点。
因为一台是
坏掉了吗？
一直没有修，所以左边这一台坏掉。
然后
从左边坏掉了。
应该有2个月了。
啊。
So again, thank you for coming, and thank you to Professor Cantor for translating. I think it's extremely useful. It makes the event a bit unique, and for organizing, of course. So last time we started the Malakirti Nirudesha Sutra. I propose that we do the same thing today. We already went through the titles of the first 8 chapters, and we went through an extract, at least, from the Nidana, the very first Nidana. Introductory, yes, exactly. The contextual introduction to the sutra.
The first.
Exactly. So that's where we were last time. Now we're going to jump. We're going directly into chapter 8. Chapter 8 follows chapter 7, of course. But I'll just briefly state some of the topics of chapter 7. It's called Agata Gotra, and as I said, this does have an echo, maybe, of the idea of Buddha Gotra, Tathagata Garba, etc. Maybe, just an echo. But perhaps the word Tathagata Gotra, but actually I think family lineage. I believe that the main reason why it is called Tathagata Gotra chapter is because in that chapter we find this metaphor. So a bodhisattva asks Vimalakirti, who's your father, who's your mother, who's your wife, who are your children? And he answers, Prajna Paramita Mata. So my mother is actually Bodhisattvanam Maharisha. The mother of the Bodhisattva is Prajna Paramita. The father, Pita, is Upaya Kaushalya. And he goes on. He explains in accordance to the Brahma Viharas, etc., all the family, the food, etc. So I think that, and he explains why. Why is it that one says Prajna Paramita is the mother and Upaya Kaushalya is the father? Because Buddhas are born from that. So this tells us the idea of Tathagata Gotra, the family lineage of the Buddhas, ultimately is the union of Prajna and Upaya. I think that's the idea there.
This was which chapter?
7, chapter 7. Tathagata Gotra. Please.
大家可以听懂吗？啊？没有听懂吗？有没有听懂？不是，他刚才讲的话，你们大家听懂没有？我必须知道，有没有可以资料翻译的？听不懂。听不懂。知道讲明白。对 ，OK。那刚刚讲的这个，因为我们上一次读的是第一品的刚开始的前几句话了，就是这个是介绍那个佛陀这种经说法的这个场合，对不对？好，那这样子就是有关时间、空间，还有针对什么众生而讲的，对。那这个就讲完了之后，我们就今天要继续讲这个第8品。第8品前面还是要先提到第7品的这个品名，7品品名梵文就叫那个 Tathagata Gotra， 对不对？那中文就是我们要看是哪一个翻译本怎么翻译，反正这个那个叫什么那个黄宝生先生，他翻译成这个如来中心品，如来中心品。那个鸠摩罗什学长的这个翻译的拼音是什么？下面对，若是佛道品，然后菩提分品是学长的翻译 ，OK。好，那原来这个如来中心品，这个Tathagata Gotra 是什么意思？你们刚刚听懂了他用英文怎么说？Gotra 是什么意思吗？周先生还听到了没有 ？Family 的意思。Family lineage 多的。Family lineage 是中文怎么翻译比较好的一个翻译？怎么说呢？
家族的一种连带性。
对，家族的传承。家族传承这样子 ，OK， 所以就是俗语或者这种或者应该是说家族的归属比较好，家族归属。然后呢，为什么有这样的一个品名呢？他是说成佛之所以成佛的这个条件是什么？他就说，那个。Prajna Paramita 就是我的 mother， 就是 mother，OK， 大家听懂吗 ？Prajna Paramita， 周先生，这样翻的。波罗。什么？在这边，什么？大家说波斯波提没有这样子，没有。Prajna Paramita 怎么说呢？波罗蜜。对，这个是 是法嘛是什么？就是那个方便，方便就是那个考啥呀？乌巴呀，考啥呀？方便，你们注意听好吗？所以乌巴呀考啥呀？所以成佛之所以成佛的这个条件，就是因为这两个的关系，所以才会有这样的一个如来中心，就是这个国者是这个意思。国者应该是说是卡子的属性，对不对？归属，对。
Actually, even in general Sanskrit commentaries, when an author is quoting from the Pratnya Paramita, the usual term that they use is Janani. Pratnya Paramita. Pratnya Paramita.
周先生是什么意思？对，所以大家请你们现在就学会一下，好不好？注意听，好不好？请你大家注意听，所以不要说，因为我当一下做中文翻译，所以可以不要听。我希望你们大家注意听，好不好？
So when they quote from Pratnya Paramita Sutras, they don't use the term. They just say this is in the Janani. So they say Jananyam. Janani means the one who gives birth. It's one of the terms for mother. So they say, as it has been saying Jananyam, in the mother.
That's where in the
when in commentaries they are going to quote from the Pratnya Paramita Sutras, they say
Pratnya Paramita is
Janani.
Janani 就是什么意思 ？Janani 就是那个 give birth 就是产生者，是不是这样翻译比较好？然后Janani 然后就是六度，就是这个产生者，就是那些 commentaries 注述里面，就是用这种方式去形容这个六度的这个作用，这个意思，一个产生者。
Even in the Abhisamaya Lankara, it is said, Tasya Shravaka Bodhisattva Ganino Buddhasya Matre Namaha. So I bow to her, who is the mother of the Buddha, together with the hosts of Shravakas and Bodhisattvas.
So even word.
Abhisamaya Lankara. Abhisamaya Lankara in the Tibetan tradition and some Indian traditions.
反正他提到其他的一些经典也是这样子用这个 Gotra 这个词。
The Abhisamaya Lankara is one of the five, is counted not in the Chinese tradition, I don't think so, but in late Indian and Tibetan tradition at least, it's one of the five treatises of Maitreya. And it's the one which deals with explaining the meaning of the Pratnya Paramita Sutras, especially the Ashta and the Panchalim, the 8,000 and 25,000 lines Pratnya Paramita. So much of the commentarial tradition on the Perfection of Wisdom Sutras goes through the Abhisamaya Lankara. And the very first verse refers to Pratnya Paramita as the mother of the Buddha. In the homage verse.
In the what?
Homage, the verse of homage.
Homage. 反正就是说这个Paramita 就是被称为这个成佛的那个妈妈，这个是在很多今年在很多这种著书的传统里面是一个很流行的一个现象。刚刚提到另外一个这个唯识学的一个经典，就是那个叫什么那个叫什么？was a Yogacara
it's not really Yogacara. This text is interpreted in different ways. Sometimes Yogacara, sometimes Madhyamaka.
我不知道中文的名称，这个经典的中文名称，我现在记不出来了，没关系。
Probably if you knew the Chinese title of this text, you would immediately recognize what it is, because it's one of the very important treatises in Indian Buddhist philosophy.
But it is also listed under the Yogacara. Is it?
I mean, I don't know, maybe in the Chinese tradition, but not usually.
Okay.
Like, for example, one of the main commentators on the Abhisamaya Alankara was Haribhata.
Okay, I'm not sure.
Okay, but this was just to give you some more context. Like the immediate preceding chapter is the Tathagata Parivarta, and it's dealing partly with this idea of the family lineage of the Buddhas, which has to do with the family lineage of the Buddhas, which has to do with wisdom and means, prajna and upaya. So now we have another chapter. The title is this, which we had already read, Advaya Dharma Mukha Pravesha Parivarta. So it's the chapter, Parivarta, which is the entrance, or about the entrance, Pravesha, in the Dharma gate, Dharma entrance, Dharma Mukha of Advaya, of non-duality, the absence of two things. So we have to remember that we translate non-duality, and there is some sense to it, because this is a key term, and if we just say non-two, in English it doesn't sound like much of a key term. It doesn't sound even like a word. But we have to remember that Advaya just means a little bit literally that two things are not there. So it's good to remember this, because many of the answers or the explanations about the meaning of Advaya that we are going to encounter are based on this very basic linguistic point, that Advaya is the absence of two things. Accordingly, most of the explanations simply tell us what are the two things which are absent when we say Advaya. Because when we just say Advaya, it's very vague. It can mean many different things. And this point is, in fact, implicitly made by this chapter.
现在就是将这个第八篇这个平民方面的一些问题，鸠摩罗什翻译是入不二法门品，然后宣赞就是不二法门品，然后就是那个经义的翻译也是入不二法门品，然后它是从梵文的角度来说，巴里瓦尔扎就是品的意思，对不对？Pravesha就是进入的意思。然后 Mukha 就是门 ，Dharma 就是法，然后 Advaya 就是不二。他是说不二，他刚刚就解释这个不二就是它的特色。不二的意思是说没有两个东西的意思，就是说他是这样子说，就是两个东西没有两个东西的啊，因为我们这是用英文说 non-duality。他就觉得这个是很模糊了，好像是什么他这个没有两个东西，就是这个non-duality就是指的是什么啊？所以就是说我们一定要这个non-duality理解成一个没有两个东西。May I ask a question? The Sanskrit Advaya, ya is a suffix, right?
Yeah. No. No, Dvaya altogether just means two. It's on V. It's yes, but that's when you. Not that's the name for the number on its own. Like when you want to say that two things are there. Then you can use this vowel, that's fine. But you can also use Dvaya is an alternative form, and when you use it in compound, for example, you, as a second member of a compound, you use dvaya.
Okay. So dvaya is the designation for the number 2.
Yes, or let's say you can say dviloka, or you can say loka dvayam. Dvisatya, satya dvayam. Example.
So dvayam is what? Is it?
It means two. It also means two, but it's a word in the singular. So, for example, dve satye or satya dvayam.
Oh, it's then in the singular.
But same meaning. Example, dve satye sampashritya buddhanam dharmadeshana. There you have dve satye.
Okay. I see.
Or
So if you say dvi, then it would be.
if you say dvi, you say dvisatyam, and it has to be a compound.
Yeah.
Or you can say satya dvayam.
Satya dvayam, is it also compound? Then?
It's a compound, and it means the same thing. For
Yeah.
example, samriti paramarthascha satya dvayam idam matam. So you have this same meaning, same concept, same meaning. So it's just another way to express two. Like with three, same thing.
Three, dvayam.
Or trayam,
Right.
chatushkayam.
Okay. 因为梵文就是这个数字就是 echo three three， 但是也有不同的说法，dvaya也是他刚刚就解释 three 和 dvaya 其实是意思是一样的，但是用的方式可能是有点差别，好像是二的意思，所以dvaya 的意思是说主要是没有两个东西的，没有两个东西。
Numbers are a little tricky in Sanskrit. I didn't dwell on it when we were reading the Nidana, but even the vibhaktis that are used to express numbers are sometimes not what we expect. And indeed, the introductory section of the Mahavyutpatti gives guidelines on how to translate Sanskrit. And it advises, although it says most things should be translated as literally as possible, one of the things that they say should not be translated literally from the Sanskrit are numbers. Because, for example, Ardha Trayodashavir Vikshushataihi, half of 13, hundreds of months. That's what it literally means. But the Mahavyutpatti says, just say 650, because it's a matter of idiom. In Sanskrit, the idioms to express numbers are a little bit roundabout.
但是说，在梵文里面将数字有点复杂了，它是提到一个例子，比如说1400个，不是650嘛。 他说650个和尚，就变成是1300的一半，他是用这种方式表达，反正就是复杂一点。
Okay, I have divided what we are going to read according to some topics, so that we know more or less where we are. I hope this can be of some help. So what we begin with is a question. Vimalakirti is going to ask a question. So the first 2-3 sentences that we are going to read are going to introduce and express this question. So here is our first sentence. We can read it first, splitting the sandhi. Atha Vimalakirtihi Lichavihi Tan Bodhisattvan Amantrayate Sma.